Oh boy, Edo, no of this podcast. Um, on the ORB, before I start, just hit that subscribe button, like, tell your NOUNA, etc., etc. I'm going to try and be as quiet as I can because I'm in the hotel. And after a defeat like this, it's very difficult to stay calm. It's difficult not to lose your temper. It's difficult to avoid any kind of knee-jerk reaction or any ill feeling. We've lost a game which, going into this, I was very confident, not because of who we were playing, but the form that we've been in recently. And in all fairness, it was an absolute disaster, wasn't it? Disastrous performance. It was laboured. It was predictable. Out of ideas. And the look on Henningsberg's face at full time in the press conference, I think said it all really. He looked a man that was fuming. He looked like someone who had practically just had enough of the team. Now, I don't mean that in general. And I think tonight, he's realised which players he can call upon, who he can trust, who can put in performances that can elevate us to the next level. Today's defeat was the most embarrassing I've seen in this club. And people are going to say to me, well, you've got a short memory and yada, yada, yada. But in all fairness, on the balance of play, what we saw tonight, in comparison to Basel away, the first 10 minutes especially, in comparison to Apollon, where we limited them to 2 chances, 3 at best, is an embarrassing performance. And I'm going to say this because I've been very, very supportive of Henningberg. I've always trusted him. I've always believed in him. I've never once believed we should get rid of him. I've never once said that he isn't the right man. And granted, this season has been up and down. But tonight's defeat has to be on him. He has to take responsibility for it. When you look at the team lineup, and I see Euster, I see Hubichan, I see Mix, players who haven't had a good season, I figured, well, given the opponent, given the experience that these players have, we should really be taking the game to them. The first half was dreadful. I'm tired of saying, first half we always start off slow because, the opponents were kind of feeling each other out, etc., etc. But when I see the passages of play, we rarely got the ball on the left-hand side. Every attack of ours was either down the right or through the middle with no one in support. I don't know where to begin. I really don't know where to begin on this one. It was just bad. It was laborious. And when I saw the way that PAEEK played defensively, 5-2-2-1, Bashiru had acres of space in the middle of the park. Acres of space. And we very rarely used him. The 3 opportunities that we had to play him in or give him the ball, he did well in his distribution. But he was isolated in the middle of the park. And it was strange to see Jordi so deep in a game like this. He didn't need to be so deep. When he did move 5 or 10 yards forward, we looked effective. We were playing the ball to Jan on the left-hand side. Zaharil was, running at defenders, but he wasn't doing much with the ball. he was often running down the right-hand side, stopping, turning backwards, looking for Huber-Chan. Now, Huber-Chan hasn't got legs to be running up and down the flank. He's not that kind of player. So why he was given that role, I don't know. Maybe because he didn't play midweek. If that's the case, then why did Lang play? Lang was all right, to be fair, but didn't do enough. Lesiak's he's gone a little bit downhill, and I think it's time that he has a couple spells on the bench. I know people are going to say to me, "Oh, but he's been good this season." He's been good, but we saw against FC Basel that when he's not involved in the game, he's largely ineffective. And by that, I mean he needs to be on the ball regularly, not because his concentration is bad, but when he doesn't have lots to do in the game, he goes missing. And last season, we got the best out of him because he was an outlet, and we don't have that outlet this season. Wow. Would I carry on? Jesus. Mix. I don't know what to say. I don't know whether he takes this league for granted. I don't know whether he doesn't realize what he's meant to be doing. I don't know whether he has got the legs to play in this league because he can't play 90 minutes, clearly. When's he played 90 minutes for us? I don't know. Shepherd was ineffective because he was feeding on scraps. There was one chance he had in the first half where perhaps he should have hit the ball sooner. But again, that goes down to confidence. Again, isolated. When you've got three central defenders against one centre forward, isolated. I've got a blocked nose. I'm not crying, I promise. Loizo again. I've said what I have to say about him. Same as always. Holding on to the ball for too long. Not releasing it soon enough. Trying to beat three players. There was one instance in the second half where he looked up, he had two players to his left. He decided to try and dribble past two. I don't know whether he's doing it deliberately now, just pissed me off. But the thing is, it wasn't just Loizo doing that. Foddy was doing that. He comes off the bench. He's trying to beat two or three players. What part of give and go don't these guys understand? And this is what frustrates me the most, because we've been saying this since the start of the season. Give and go. One touch pass, two touches pass, but they weren't even doing that. Why are these players trying to beat three or four players? I don't understand. You move the ball quicker, you get the ball forward quicker. Your players move into spaces, you create opportunities. We weren't doing that. And as I said at the beginning of this recording, predictable, laborious. We knew what was happening. And this is, it's becoming silly now. It's becoming very, very silly. Now, is this a confidence thing? I think so. We're up and down at the moment. It's Jekyll and Hyde. 1 minute we're playing brilliant football and we're playing very well, grinding out victories, or performing well and losing games. Today was just terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Bad, really bad. But the team selection, again, when I saw it, I thought, Ndagsi, it's a good lineup. But then it goes back to what I said before about, if you want to win games, you've got to play your best team. And was that our best team? I don't think so. Is he rotating? Possibly. But again, if you're going to rotate, then rotate properly. Anyway, onto the goal. Onto the goal. PAEEK won a free kick. How far out was it? 35, 40 yards? Now, the player that won the free kick, I forget his name, the number 8. He's all right foot. He doesn't have a left foot. So what happens? He receives the ball and he's turned his back to goal because he wants to get the ball on his right foot to spin inside. Why Thomas Huber-Chan has to bring him down is beyond me. Why is he getting so tight on him? I don't understand. Now, I've pointed out several flaws in Huber-Chan's game this season, and they're becoming more and more frequent. And this is a massive concern now. I don't think he's reliable. I don't think he's reliable enough. And I know he signed a new deal at the end of the season. Um, and I can't see him lasting. I think he will leave in the summer. And listen, he's been a good player for us. He's been a very good player for us. But his decision making this season has been appalling. Um, the free kick, the penalty conceded against PAEEK. You don't expect that from an experienced player like that. Today, the free kick that he conceded, just rash. You know, he's clumsy, and you can't have that. You can't have players like that. And at 37 years old, he's showing his age now. This league is demanding. I said at the beginning of the season, it's demanding. You can't get away with taking too much time on the ball because you get closed down. Teams know that when the ball is at Hubachan's feet, at Eustace's feet, they can be got at because they're old and they're slow. And that's what happened. He conceded a free kick. Okay. So the free kick's put in the box, and there's two attacking players. I'll say the guy that scored the goal was a central defender, I think he was. So, but he's full within attack, so he's an attacking player in that passage of play. Adam Lang isn't anywhere near one guy. And Yuste, in all of his experience, instead of challenging the man in the air for the ball, he waits for the ball to drop before going for it. By that time, it's too late, and Fabi makes a mistake. Now, I'm not going to rip Fabi a new one. He doesn't deserve it. He knows he made that mistake. And given what he's done for this club in the past year, 18 months, I don't think anyone can really have a go at him. Because the amount of games that he saved us, especially last season, which obviously we won the league, he probably saved us 15 points last season. 1 second, guys. Mario says, Hubachan has family issues. Maybe he has that in his head. No one can focus when they have important problems elsewhere. Now, look, I didn't know this. What problems does he have? Does anyone know this? I don't know. So, but if he's got family problems, then why is he playing? Should he not be with his family sorting these problems out? I know a lot of footballers just want to continue playing because it helps get their mind straight. But when you're constantly making mistakes like these, it says it all. And it wasn't the first time today. Well, that free kick they conceded wasn't the first time. He was rash a lot of the times, and it could be frustration. He could be, as you said, could be having family problems that could be playing a part. But if that's the case, right now, after this performance, he should say to Henningberg, or Henningberg should say to him, I'm not fit to play. Mentally, I'm not there. And that wouldn't be a problem for me. I wouldn't begrudge him that at all. I'd rather he be sorting out problems with his family than playing games and, making mistakes. It's not fair, and it's not doing him any favours either. I've said what I have to say about him. He's good for a 40-yard diagonal ball, but that's about it. He was bullied today constantly. And again, I need to question his signing. I have to question it, and I'm sorry. Something's happened here. I don't know why he's Bashiru, best player first half, because he was making things happen. I know he had a shot which went way wide, but he was getting into the right positions. He was finding those pockets of space, which is what our players should have been doing. Why did he go off? Didn't look injured to me. Does anyone know why? If he was injured, then fair enough, I'll hold my hands up. But why did he go off? And why did Mix come on? Because the first half, all I saw was him chesting the ball down, trying a couple of flicks, running down that right-hand side like he's another right winger, because he's not. What was the point? Mix isn't built for these types of games. He isn't built for the PAEEKs, the Ethnigos. He's not built for that. Play him against Anorthosi, against all these other clubs where he's going to get a bit more time on the ball. But against the likes of PAEEK, who are physical, that'll kick him all over the pitch, forget it. Because he's made out of balsa wood. He is, isn't he? He is. Wow. Okay. So we've gone in 1-0 down at half time. And second half, we saw the substitutions. Guggle came on, and immediately he was chasing everything down, working his bollocks off. Zahario went off. Foddy came on, played on the left-hand side. Ineffective. Tried to do everything himself. Wasn't releasing the ball enough, soon enough. Making mistake after mistake. There was an opportunity in I think it was the 70th minute where he's dribbled in the box and he's had the opportunity to shoot and he's tried to take another touch. I'm thinking, mate, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're getting crowded out. And it's like the same mistakes time and time again. It's the same mistakes. And I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over again because it's like I said at the beginning of the season. In fact, all the games that we've played, the ones that we've lost especially, it's the same story. You're holding on to the ball for too long. And when you do that, not only do you invite pressure on yourself, you give the opposition the opportunity to get bodies behind the ball. We're shit on the counter-attack. Absolutely dog shit. We can't counter-attack teams. It's that simple. We can't counter-attack teams because the players that we do have getting forward in attacking positions, they hold on to the ball for too long. What is wrong with taking a touch and passing it? What's wrong with that? Like I said, Foddy did it. Loizo did it. Zahario did it. Even Jan was doing it at some point. Psati, look, Psati he's got a lot of potential and he's still raw, okay? And he had the opportunity where I don't know whether he was meant to control it or shoot or I don't know what he tried to do. I don't even knows what he tried to do. But this is what I call nosebleed territory. You got a right back in a centre forward position. These things happen. But the substitutions, my goodness, the substitutions. Boy, oh boy. There's a message here. Where is it? Let me find it. Sorry, guys. Give me 2 seconds. The OLB Duris. He should have played. I was screaming out for Duris to come on. Half time, bring him on. Last 10 minutes, bring him on. Add a third striker, third centre forward. If you want to go 1970s football, pumping it into the box, why not? Play their 3 central defenders against 3 of our strikers and see what happens. Go man for man. But we couldn't even do that. So what does he do? He takes off Yordi, who was He takes off Mix, who was trash. He brings on Johnny's and Panayotu. Am I not understanding what's going on here? Because I need someone to help me out. Where's the thought process behind this? Did Johnny's even have a touch of the ball? So this defeat, I'm sorry guys, is on Berg, on the manager. It's on him. And I don't like criticising the manager because he's got a difficult job enough as it is. And whenever there isn't a bad result, immediately he gets shit canned for it. But on this occasion, Gobella, let's be real. Fair enough, the players didn't put in the performance that they should have. Well, 90% of them anyway. But the manager has to take his responsibility for this. And he was saying at full time, we didn't perform the way that he wanted us. And okay, fine. I know he wasn't happy. None of us are happy. But, the substitutions, they were wrong, completely wrong. And look, I'm not a manager, okay? And anyone can tell me, oh, you don't know what you're talking about because you're not Henningberg. And I agree, I'm not Henningberg. But let's be real. Their central midfield were very physical. They were trying to slow the game down. You're putting in 2 teenagers in the middle of the park. And what you're doing, you're basically getting chicken shit and you're trying to make a chicken salad out of it. And it was just bad. It was just bad, really bad. As I said, it's probably the most embarrassing result I've ever seen from this club. Okay, let's go through some comments. Sad face, crying, yeah. Patience, man, we will come back stronger. Oh, Pedro, do you know what? I hope you're right. because something needs to be said. I don't know what's being said in the background. I don't know if the players are, arguing with each other. I don't know if the harmony is there. I don't know, and I don't want to speculate. I don't want to shit stir or anything. But some people need to be taking ownership of their actions, and there needs to be a serious discussion with the whole squad as to where we're going wrong. Look, okay, I'll give you an example, right? Set pieces. When was the last time we actually scored a goal from a corner? Was it Shepa against Baralimni last season? And that was a near post corner that was flicked on and Shepa was at the back stick. That's the last time I remember. Before that was Lufna against Red Star Belgrade. I can't remember the last time we scored a goal from a corner. But our corners are predictable. Was Lesiak's goal against Karabag from a corner? Was it from a free kick? I can't remember. See, this is what I'm saying. I can't remember. Do they practice set pieces in training? I don't know, because it's the same thing time and time again. Overload the 6-yard box, hope that there's a decent delivery, and when it does happen, just hope for the best. Because I saw corners today, one going out for a goal kick on the other end, one hitting the crossbar, one going straight to the goalkeeper. What's going on? Such a frustrating performance, especially after a good game against Basel and Apollon. Well, this is it. I wasn't turning around expecting a victory, but I didn't expect a performance like that. It was terrible. This is a really terrible loss. The management of the game was ridiculous. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Why you pick Panayoda? I agree. As I just said, I agree. But I think you said that before I did, in all fairness. It was dreadful. Your eyes were bleeding. Yeah. I was actually at my uncle's house. Big Omonoia fan, man. Big Omonoia fan. He showed me, he's got this pilgrimage to Omonoia. And he showed me all these signed photographs of players. Called Joseph Kozle and they had the Guvenda, called Kafu, they had the Guvenda, called Alabi, they had the Guvenda before this game. The smile on his face was brilliant. And then to see a performance like that, I don't know, man. I don't know. But the thing is, in all fairness, and I know people are going to completely shit can me for this, but the commitment was there. This is the thing. I can't turn around and say people didn't look bothered. I can't say players didn't put any effort, but because the commitment was there and the fight was there, especially at the end. But you can't just rely on passion. You can't. And we've got the quality. And I think this is the most disappointing thing about everything. We've got the quality. And we've been taking the piss out of Apoel, but they're above us. And their best 11, how many of their players would you take? Don't be afraid of no one. I'm not afraid of anyone, man. We're with you now. Who are you talking to? Bike played better than us. I agree. We'll be back stronger. I hope. You're right. Still the problem. Okay. Who wants to talk to me about this guy? Because I've heard several things. Now, I'm not going to make the same mistake as what I did in other episodes, talking about things that I've heard. So if you know anything and you're happy for me to put it up in the comments, put it in there. We got violated by players that struggled to beat enemies last year. Do you know what, this is the thing, right? PAEEK didn't do anything special, but they could have had 2 or 3 goals. They were physical. They weren't stronger than us. Their players were falling like flies. I know they were time wasting. Some of them had cramp, legitimate cramp. But this is a team that we should be playing off the park. The fact that their goalkeeper had 2 saves to make, if I'm not mistaken, was it 2 or 1? Can't remember. It speaks volumes. Your best defender is Banayodu and he was benched. In modern football, you have to run all the time. Players like Yordi Hoops have no pace in the team. Well, this is it. You know, if you want to play high intensity, you can probably get away with having 2 players that don't have the legs to play a pressing game. But you can't have 4, 5, or 6. And this is a concern because we weren't pressing at all first half. So many times I see PAEEK having the ball on the halfway line with their defenders. I'm like, push up. Press them. Even if our players are 80% fit, We're still fitter than them. Because, no disrespect to them, and they beat us, but they're a second division team, man. They're going straight back down. They're going to go down. Okay, they're going to go down. Don't care what anyone says, they're going down. And we're getting schooled by them. It's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. Some of our big players need a rest. Yeah, but who needs a rest for that? Who? If you're going to tell me Loizo needs a rest, okay, fine. I'm hearing that, again, going back to what I've been told by people high up. He's got university, he's got Strador, whatever. All right, give him a rest then. Give him a week off. Give him 2 weeks off. Give him 3 weeks off. Buy him a ticket to Greece or Spain and just say, go on the beach, just sit there and relax. Rest up. He didn't have a long break over the summer. And if he needs a break, he needs a break. But is this break going to stop him from trying to beat 3 players when a 5-yard square pass is on? I don't think so. Is someone going to have a word with him and say, mate, you look up, you see 2 players from the same team as you, 3 on your left-hand side. Why are you trying to beat 2 players in front of you? Yeah, whatever. Today, Loiza's father was fighting with Omonoia fans. Is that true or is that alleged? Loiza's father said, my son gets paid 2K monthly. Is that true? Is that alleged? Other get paid 30K a month. 100% true. What, is he trying to say that his son should get 30K a month? Until he learns how to play for 2,000, it's fine. Oh, he's talking about Loiza, okay. Why are you guys talking about how much you guys make a month? Just saying the truth. Loiza only cares about money. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. We saw the title celebrations last season, what it meant to him. Does he even make enough money to be bragging about? I don't think he's that kind of person, to be fair. But that's just what I see anyway. We have what looks like a PAEEK fan or a Abuel fan or a non-Omonoia fan. I don't know. Right, Stel, tell the truth. Don't be afraid. What's the truth, Dasso? Tell me the truth. Please, tell me the truth. I need to know. Yordi is slower than Internet Explorer. Fucking hell, man. Jesus. Yagofo, man. That's brutal. I think it's come to the point now where if we're going to play Yordi in the middle of the park, we need 2 central midfielders alongside him. One that can win the ball to give it to Yordi, and one guy ahead of him that can take it. And I think that's the way we got to go. If we're going to have someone like Yordi in the middle of the park, he needs protection. We know how talented and gifted he is, especially in his distribution and the technical ability. But he doesn't have the legs to play with in a 2-man midfield. He doesn't have the legs to do it. But that's nothing to be ashamed of. But I still think he has a lot to offer, in my opinion. A lot to offer on and off the pitch. Bashiru is a cancer of the Cyprus League. Yeah, well, he will be that if he's given the chance to play 90 minutes. Kiko should have been in the game today. I agree. I'd have started him. I think it's come to, as I said before, I think it's come to a point where Jan needs a break. I'm not saying that he's got too comfortable, but the way that things are at this moment in time, he's not as effective as he should be. And that's probably down to the fact that he hasn't got a left-sided partner. He's had so many different players on that left-hand side. At least last season, we could say it was Johnny's or Thiago. This season, it's been Foddy, it's been Zahario, it's been Lois, it's been Johnny's, it's been EI. Madash Haman, man. Are you serious? How the fuck can this guy get any consistency when he doesn't even know who's in front of him? That make no sense. 2 of our players worth budget of PAEEK. This is disgrace. You all with those corners. Well, yeah, the corners I've touched on. I'm not going to get into this. We're shit. Well, I won't say we're shit. I think we're just in limbo at the moment. We're in limbo. But we could turn it around. I'm positive we can turn it around. I'm trying to find my tissues. I've got a fucking runny nose, man. I don't even got my tissues. I just use my sleeve. Ugh, Mick says. Mick should be playing in Yordi's position. That's my opinion from day one. I saw him playing. What, centre mid? Centre mid with Bashiru. Well, as I said, Mick hasn't played 90 minutes ever, has he? Does anyone remember him playing 90 minutes? There you go. 4 wins in 15 games. Ooh, oh boy. Oh boy. I did need to know that, Mario. Thanks, though. You know. I believe we become extremely predictable. I'm not a football expert, but seeing the game, I knew every single next. Well, this is what I said earlier, Pedro. We have become too predictable, and things need to change. And I know they asked Henningberg at full time, are you going to change your system? And he said, well, we changed our system 3 times during the game. Well, I didn't see that, to be honest. But I think I was getting too pissed off with the way that we distributed the ball in the final third. So, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to understand something here. Our team is called Omonoia, not Berg FC. I'm sorry, but what are you saying? Has he got to go? I don't think he's got to go. I still think he deserves the opportunity to turn things around. And I think today could be a major turning point for us. It could be a major turning point because I think that result has made the players realise that this ain't going to be a cakewalk. I'm not saying that they took things for granted, but I think this should be a kick in the arse that we needed. It should be. Roy said a few weeks ago that, was it after the Buffalo game, that we hit rock bottom and things couldn't get worse? Well, they have got worse, and today should be a turning point. It should be a defining moment whereby the players get the kick up the arse and they move on. I'm not turning around saying that we're not going to change things. I'm not turning around saying that our season's done. Not by any stretch of the imagination. We're 10 points behind PAEEK. It's a massive gap. But this time last season, we were 10 points or 9 points behind Omonoia. So it's not beyond the. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. But things need to change. I can't stress how important it is. Do you think it's time to change manager? No, Stefano, not at all. Not at all. Okay, it's been a dodgy start to the season. It wasn't anywhere. It's not okay. Last season wasn't as bad as this season. That being said, I think that we've still got a lot in our locker. We've got a very, very good squad, and I don't think Henningberg has quite found the right balance with this particular squad. And I think a lot of the players that have come in, especially like the likes of Mix, EI, don't understand what it takes to be a success in this league. But then there are some questionable signings. Juste, EI again. Was EI even in the squad today? I don't even know. Was he even on the bench? I didn't see him warming up. So yeah. Anyway. Sorry, I'm just checking my Instagram live. Instagram, sorry. Was waiting for that one, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that one, boys and girls. Sorry. Whatever. Two decent games. Every team should be changing their style of play. Well, this is it. As I said at the beginning, we have become too predictable. Wow, there's so many comments here. Where do we go? Blimey, okay, I'm going to scroll down some of them. Uncertainty in the manager. Were you talking about the potential takeover, Mario? You're talking about... Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. I don't think that should affect the players, though. Should it? Should the takeover affect the players? I don't think it should. What about Papa John? Pass. I don't know. Funny thing is, I was at the airport this morning, because I landed at 1 o'clock in the morning. As I was going through passport control, and there was a police officer there, and he was asking me about, John. I don't know. I don't know a thing, mate. Honestly, I said to you, Inxero. Yeah, whatever. Anyway. With Karabag, we scored the corner against Enos's. But the own goal. But we won 2-0. Yeah. Let's have a look. So Grigori's a vice president. Oh, yeah, I'll take that. Thank you very much, Philemon. There you go. Bomba. See, I told you I'm at a hotel. Thank you. No one believes me. I got my cafe. I put it on the room. There you go. Where was I? What is the vice president? What is it about this guy? Because I've heard. I'm not saying it's true, that he kind of meddles a little bit too much. Is that true? Does anyone know if that's true? First corner was 50 minutes in. Yeah. Our players don't even try to shoot. Saturday seems to be lacking. But what is it that he's been lacking, Chris? Because I saw him trying to make overlaps today. I saw him trying to deliver balls into the box. I saw him getting into the box. But when there's no one in the box, who's he going to be playing the ball to? Who's he going to be supplying it to? You can't rely on just one person in the box to be getting on the end of crosses. Shepper was feeding off the scraps. There was a ball from Loizo in the last 10 minutes, which is absolutely dreadful. I don't know what he was expecting. Now, people are going to tell me, yeah, well, he played the ball in the right area in the 6-yard box. But, yeah, he got too much backspin on it, or topspin, should I say. I don't know. the way we played, we couldn't score even if the game lasted 180 minutes. Costandino, you are spot on. I said that to my uncle. I said, here, we could play another 90 minutes and we won't get anywhere near scoring. Our signings haven't adapted to the team. Half the team is new. I agree. They haven't adapted. But a lot of these signings are experienced players, man. They're experienced players. They're experienced players. It shouldn't take them forever to bed in. Shouldn't do at all. Now, to get used to the style of play in Cyprus, to get used to the pitches, to get used to the opponents, I get it. But at the same time, if you're playing in a system that suits you, one would assume, then they'll be able to turn it on, right? As I said, Mix hardly plays 90 minutes. Why Bashu came off? I don't know. Maybe someone can tell me in the comments. Is he injured? I don't know. Who's going to get the championship this year? Good question. Because right now it just looks like it's Ajax, doesn't it? The way they're playing. And the thing is, they've got 2 strikers that could get you 15, 20 goals a season, isn't there? So, there you go. Find the difference. Loizo versus Akindola. I can tell you the difference. There are many differences. One of them gets his head down. He runs at defenders. He knows when to pass the ball. He's blessed with pace. He can finish. Right foot, left foot. And the other one is an 18-year-old that's still developing. But this isn't the shit on Loizo show, and I'm not going to do that. I've said what I had to say about him, and that's it. We're slow as fuck, can't be fixed because most players are old. Well, it can be fixed if we change the system, change the players. That's it. Bloody hell. Some players still think that they play for last season. We're going for massive failure, and some to abandon it. Yeah, see this one. This is if I'm reading what you're saying correctly, a lot of players are living off last season's reputation. Is that what you're saying? And maybe some of them feel that they're untouchable. That's a possibility. It's a possibility. But at the same time, how many of those players from last season can you turn around and say, I'll let them off 2 or 3 bad performances? Fabi, Jan, Shepa, possibly. Who else? I don't know. Right. I don't think any rational fan actually wants Henning to go. We seem to forget what he has built. I agree. And I don't want him to go. I've never once said that he should go. I've never once said that Henningberg is the wrong man. I think, as I said earlier, this should be the result that lights a firework in our golo. You know, it's a really bad analogy to use, but I've seen so many times on like social media, especially in England, because there are some sick fucks out in England. They'll get a firework and they'll tie it to a cat and they'll set it off. It's not cool. It's not funny, but maybe this is the firework that we needed up our golus to kickstart our season, because teams are now looking at us and saying they lost to PAEEK. So if they can lose to PAEEK, why can't they lose to us? Maybe it will give teams a false view on us. Maybe teams will come to attack us now, and then we can start hitting them on the counter. But like I said before, we're largely ineffective going forward because the players hold on to the ball for too long. Am I wrong? There are so many instances I've given you whereby we've got forward and the players hold onto the ball for too long. As I said, one touch pass, move into space. It's not difficult, but it's predictable, as many of you have said tonight. The difference since last year is that Fanny? Who's Fanny? You're saying Fabi, right? Because Fanny in English is a puto, just letting you know. They didn't sell him, so makes it. Oh, you talk about. I don't want to talk about Loizo. I don't want to talk about him. I don't want to talk about him because he's taken enough shit from fans and he's still getting it. And this ain't going to help if we keep talking about him. It's not going to help, and I don't want to go into that. It's not fair on the lad. Berg's style of play reminds you of Ole. In what sense? That it's predictable. In that he can't trust his defense. Does he even know his best defense? I don't think he does. I really don't. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about Fabi. The question is, how are we going to get better? I want Berg to stay off course, but we're too predictable. Okay. They say a goalkeeper is only as good as the defense ahead of him. And last season, we had Shehu, Lufner, Lang, and Lesiaks. That combination was rarely changed. Rarely changed, especially in the league. I know Hubachan came in a few times, etc., etc. But that back four was... back five, should I say, obviously Fabi. That back five was settled. I don't think anyone now can tell me that they know Omonia's best back five. I don't think anyone can. I mean, I can say my back five would be Fabi, Shehu, Banayodu, Lang, and Lisiaks. That's my five defenders, including the goalkeeper. But you got to play your best team every game. You have to. And I know that obviously European adventures is making things a bit difficult. And Banayodu had a game midweek, and perhaps he wasn't fresh. And Justa was rested, and Hubachan was rested, and the manager felt that was the best team he could get out. I get it. But lights are going off. Guys, I'll be 10 minutes. You sure? Thank you very much. Cheers. There you go. I'm thinking the lights are going out. But, yeah, I just think once we've got a settled back line, once we've got that cohesion there, we'll be fine. I mean, we kept fucking 16, 17 clean sheets out of 21 games last season. You know, does losing Michael Lufner make a massive difference? Clearly it does. But also chopping and changing makes a big difference. So, yeah, let's see. Best defense, Jan, Banayodu, Hubachan. You play Hubachan over... Oh, okay, interesting. Papa Stavro doesn't know football. He doesn't know that super play can go... I'm not going to... sorry. Lufner, please come back at least call. I don't worry. I'm going to get Lufner back on the show sometime soon, man. In Berg's maths, we trust. Bravo, George. Bravo. Going to have to start going to away games again. Every game we go, we win. We'll start going then. You went to Basel, though, didn't you? Rosario should have started today after a good game against Basel. Yeah, see, I would have selected Uzoho because... Gobella, look. Rui Lima, he's messaged me. There you go. I'm going to try to get him on the podcast. What do you reckon? Do you remember him, Rui Lima? There you go. Uzoho should have started. I would have selected Uzoho today, 100%. I would have started him today. He had a good game midweek. And Fabi obviously had that little bit of an injury. Save him for the next game. What's my honest opinion about on Gago? Opinion on Gago and my opinion on Gago and Michael. See, here's the thing. We obviously lack a striker that can get us 15 goals a season at this moment in time. Now, I honestly believe that Shepherd can get us 15 goals a season. I honestly believe he can. But not with the system that we're playing. We're clearly not playing to his strengths. And the thing is, when I look at, say, PAEEK, who are top of the league, can you see them changing their system to suit a central midfielder or a centre back or a left back. No. But they will change their system to suit Tiskovsky and Matt because they know they can get the best out of them, right? Is our system suited to Shepa? No, it clearly isn't. He will get us 10, 15 goals. He got us 8 goals last season, halfway through the season. Yeah? Am I right? Was it 8? It's a no-brainer. But at the same time, I think Gago has been fantastic for us this season. His work rate is second to none. Once he gets his finishing down patted, we'll have a player and a half. Dura, I will always back him. I will always back him. And he was probably one of our best players against Basel. Why he didn't start or play is beyond me. Now, I'm not suggesting that maybe the manager's been instructed not to play him, but there have been some occasions where, I've been involved in the game. I talk to teams. I talk to players. Not obviously just at Omonoia, but different clubs throughout Europe. And there have been occasions where managers have been told by the higher-ups not to play certain players. Because if they play a certain amount of games, then they have to get paid a bonus. If they score a certain amount of goals, they have to get a bonus, etc., etc. I'm not suggesting one bit that Dura's in that mold, but given his performance midweek, he didn't look tired when at full time. Why didn't he start? At least come on. This is what I'm saying. When you're bringing on Johnny's and Banayodu with 10 minutes to go, chasing a game, it doesn't make no sense to me. It really doesn't. Really, really doesn't. Duri's like a Firmino type player. Does pressing very well, but sometimes doesn't get the goals he deserves. Well, yeah, you know this, Mario. You and I have had discussions about Dura in the past, and if you guys have been watching this podcast for as long as we've been doing it, everything I've said about Dura has come to fruition. He isn't your 10, 15 goal a season striker, but his work off the ball is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. See, that's the spirit, Yanni. Bravo, Su. Well done. Well done. I like it. Gusso is missing so much. But this is it. Like, why are we relying on a 24-year-old, 25-year-old central midfielder? Is it that bad that we're having to rely on it? He's a good player. He's a very good player for us. But why do we need to rely on him so much? I don't get it. I really don't get it. We will start with the players. Shame the racing apathy of the presence of people. Crap, I love these comments, man. It's brilliant. Can't remember Dura scoring a hat-trick or doing no-look passes, mate. Who are you talking to? Where? You've lost me. Are you talking about Salah? Oh, you're talking about Firmino. No, he won't do a no-look pass, no. But I'd say this for now. He'll cause trouble. He'll be a pain in the ass. And when he came on against Loxa, when, other players weren't putting in the shift, he scored one and made one. There you go. Do you think Uncle... Yeah, I think, as I said before, I think his finishing needs improving, but he's getting in the right areas. But the thing is, because he's doing all the running, all the pressing, he's not committing himself enough in the box. And I think that's a part of his game that needs to be improved. I don't know if you guys remember that goal against IL when we beat them 3-0. Was it 3-0 we beat IL a couple of seasons ago? I think it was when Dave Akintola scored as well, if I'm not mistaken. Or did he give him the assist? I think he gave him the assist at the Sirio. Those are the runs that we would need to see from him. But his game has changed. But anyway. We shouldn't overreact and dramatise over today's result. We weren't good enough. What is wrong that we're not getting better, fast enough, or more consistent? We still have a long way to go. I agree. We can't lose our shit, but we still have to point out the errors and the mistakes. And, too many of the same mistakes have been made this season. And they need to be addressed. They need to be highlighted. But once we get that right, it'll be all systems go. It doesn't... Look... On paper, and I know it's such a cliche, but on paper, we've got the best squad in the league. But we need to put that into practice. These players need to be mucking in. And I know that tomorrow's training session or the analysis is going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. And I'm sure certain things have been said in the dressing room. I'm just guessing, conjecture again. But I'm sure things have been said in the dressing room. Things will probably be said at full time. Things will be said on the coach, whatever. But I just hope that these players can get these things off their chest, look at yesterday's result, tonight's result, and say, right, fine. This is the low point. Let's go. Let's go full pelt. Because if we play against teams like we did in the first 10 minutes against Basel, we'll rip them to bits. As I said earlier, today there was no intensity. First half, it was bad. It was bad. And what can I say? What else can I say that I haven't said already? Jordi, Huberchan, and Babulis have got to go this summer. Thanks for Mary's, but I need fresh legs. Andrea, I get what you're saying, but who are the legs? Who are the fresh legs? Because the fresh legs for us were Bashiru and Mix and Psalti and Zahariu. And apart from Bashiru, the other three haven't clicked into gear yet. Yet, being the operative word. I still have faith in these players. I still have faith. And if we can get 70 minutes, 80 minutes out of mixing games, great. If we're performing to the levels that we can, great. But today should have been the rocket up the arse that they needed to kick on. And I'm certain that they will. Big game coming up as well. And we've got big game players. There you go. Shaw and others, my friend. Okay. I'm pretty sure you're talking about the players that need to leave that Andrea mentioned. Anyway, I've got mixes coming up. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating. But yeah, anyway, look, I'm going to wrap it up because I've gone to close to an hour. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. If you haven't seen it, watch the interview with Vasconcelos the other day that I gave. It was absolutely brilliant. Top bloke. Kiko even called up during the interview, which is quite funny. I'm going to upload the interview I did with Weisheimer. So that should be coming up in the next couple of days. I'm hopefully going to put it out on Wednesday. Hopefully on Wednesday. And as I said, Rui Lima, apologies, has just messaged me. So I'm going to ask him if he can come on the podcast. I spoke to Kafu earlier today, and he says that he watches the podcast. So he really enjoys them. And Kafu, thank you for your support. He says that we're saying the right things. He says that the fans are saying the right things. And while we're all entitled to our opinions, we're Omoniades, and we back our team to the hilt. Whether they let us down today, tomorrow they'll bring us back up again. And back the team, back the manager, back the players. As I said before, there are chinks in the armor. There are problems, but they're not unsolvable problems. So, yeah. Can you ask Vasconcelos if he could come play a part-time striker? Better than those we have. I think it's a bit unfair, but I'll ask him anyway. Remember last year, Stel, you shaved your head off. Master plan, go to away game, shave your hair. Well, I shaved my head after the... Which game was it? It was the 0-0 against... Was it Doxa? Was it Baralimni? No. Baralimni was when Jordi missed the penalty. I was here. It was Doxa when Dura hit the post and I shaved my head out of anger. It's coming, isn't it? It's coming. It's coming. I agree. Now, Cobelia, I'm at Sveltos Hotel. It's a lovely hotel, gorgeous hotel in Oroglini. I'm going to be in Lefkosia Wednesday to meet up with Roy. I forget the name of the restaurant that he told me that we're going to in the evening, but I'm going to be in Lefkosia most of Wednesday. And I'm going to be taking photographs of where I am. So if you guys want to pop down and say hello, you're more than welcome to. I'm hoping to be in Limassol later tomorrow. I'll probably be in Lefkosia again on Thursday. So yeah, if you guys are around this area, let me know. Say hello. And hopefully na vrefume. So yeah, it's coming to Scala this year. Well, listen, if AEK win it, I won't begrudge him because Matt is a top bloke. And I love him to bits. And he deserves to be successful out here. It's a shame that we didn't bring him back. But hey, listen, this is football. This is football. And we can't be romantics all our lives and be sentimental. He loves the club still, but he's doing a job at PAEEK, and good luck to him. Good luck to him, because there isn't anyone else nicer at a different club that I want to see win a title. So if we don't win it, then good luck, Matt. This year's Omonoia is far worse than last year. We're not going to hide them. Well, yeah, of course we're worse than last season, Adam. I'm not disputing that. But in terms of the squad, it's a better squad, in my opinion. But we just need to turn it around. Give me something positive to pop on the screen before I wrap it up. Come on. I don't want to end it with this message. Sorry, Adam. I appreciate your input and I appreciate everything you say. Brilliant. But come on, I need something positive. So yeah, like, subscribe, tell your NOUNA, by the way. Come on, give me something positive in the comments. How dare? Come on. You got 10 seconds. Anyone? No one wants to say anything positive. Wow. This is embarrassing. This is awkward. All right, fair enough. I'm going to leave it at that then. So, Cobelia, thank you for tuning in. It's been emotional. It's been great. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everyone tuning in. Thank you for your support. It's been brilliant. Couldn't be anywhere without you guys, man. Honestly, you lot are absolutely fantastic. You lot are fucking brilliant. Lovely. Thank you very much. Brilliant. There we go. I'm going to end it with that. Berg, we believe in you. Thank you, guys. You lot are brilliant.